Hey everybody, this is Flavio Romeo, and on this episode of the Towncast, we had the opportunity of meeting up with the executive chef of the New York Football Giants. And he talks about all the foods that he has to prepare, breakfast, lunch, and dinner during spring training preseason, and also during the games, and how he tries to keep it creative for the team, the management, and over 200 people every single day. All right, enjoy the episode, everybody. All right, everybody, I can't even tell you how excited I am today. I am with Angelo Basilone. If you're Italian, it's Basilone. Angelo, thank you so much for coming.
Thanks, man.
I really appreciate this.
Pleasure.
Coming. I'm in his man cave. I'm in the man cave. And if you notice the jersey, Angelo is the executive chef for our New York Giants. And listen, if they're malnourished, this is the guy to blame. So I can't believe this is so, and he's right here. He's a local guy. So where did you grow up? You didn't grow up in Hawthorne.
I didn't grow up in Hawthorne. I grew up in Summit.
Okay.
I met my wife, who's a native Hawthorne.
So she's from Hawthorne.
Yes.
Okay.
Met her and.
Where'd you meet her?
Met her at Montclair State.
You know what? There's another good reason to go to college, if not to study, to meet your future wife.
That's right. We settled into town. She's from town, and family's been in town for forever. So it's a great little town.
Yeah.
You know, made a lot of friends here, and I really enjoyed it.
So you grew up in Summit. What year did you graduate high school?
92.
Shout out to class of Summit High School.
Summit High School.
1992, Summit High School. Look at this guy. I bet you guys would never imagine that he'd be the executive chef of the New York Giants. Do you still talk to any of your friends from?
I do.
Nice.
We text with a bunch of them.
Yeah. That's so cool. So I know you have an Instagram page. I want people to go to your Instagram page and see it. Is it NY Giants Bites?
NY Giants Bites.
NY Giants Bites, BITES, on Instagram, and you'll get a chance to see what our New York Giants eat. So how did you even get involved in cooking? Did you go to high school or college for that?
I did. I mean, growing up in an Italian family, food was always, the forefront.
Of course.
Big part of it. Big part of every day.
Of course.
Exactly. Not just holidays, but every day.
Every day.
Mom cooked.
Every day's a holiday.
Exactly. Mom never wanted to go out to dinner. She always said, "Why should I go out?"
My mother was the same way. It's how they show love.
Yep.
I love you, so eat. Mangia.
Right. I always loved food. Loved to watch what she did in the kitchen. So I kind of.
So you did as a kid? You were hanging out in the kitchen?
Yeah.
Dunking the bread and the sauce.
Exactly.
Check, make sure it was good.
Breaking the macaroni on Sunday and all that. And then, I got a little job in a small town restaurant in Summit and really liked it.
In the kitchen?
In the kitchen, yep.
Nice.
Spent.
Was that during high school or?
No, that was during college.
Yeah.
So spent about a year there, and then I decided maybe I should give this a shot because I enjoyed it. And I went to the Culinary Institute of America.
You remember the CIA?
Yes, sir.
Culinary Institute, yeah, nice.
What
was the biggest takeaway from that, if you could pinpoint anything?
It was very disciplined.
Yeah.
It was almost militaristic. You had to go to class clean shaved. They would check your fingernails before class.
Really?
Yeah.
Apron, everything clean, whites, all.
Exactly. You had to have your neckerchief on. It was great, and it was like a conveyor belt. They got you through classes, one class after another. But honestly, you learn more in the field. There you'll get your basics. Once you're in the field, you latch on to a good chef. And
on-the-job training. It's where you really learn. Yeah,
exactly.
Because there's no way. I know my younger brother was a chef. My older brother, was in the restaurant business as well. There's no way for them to teach you the stresses and the pressure of cooking, for 100 people, like in a matter of minutes. As they all sit down.
Right.
Yeah.
So after
did they help you find a job after that?
Well, there was a career fair at school, and that's where I got attached to the current company I'm with. It's Compass Group. It's the 9th largest employer in the world.
Wow.
But within Compass Group, there's different divisions, and Fleck Hospitality is where I work. So I started out, I was at State Farm Insurance, at ADP, at Honeywell and Marsan, and prior to the Giants, I was at the Archdiocese of Newark.
So you were cooking for everybody?
Everybody, yeah.
Nice.
And then the opportunity, back in 1999, teams started building practice facilities. And our company had the Eagles prior for a while, and then...
Oh, don't tell me.
Not me personally.
All right. Please.
We had the Eagles, and then the Jets opened up their facility in Florham Park, and we got the contract to feed the Jets. So I was keeping an eye on things. I told my boss, if the Giants ever come along, I'd love to be considered, and we got the Giants.
Boom.
Like a month after the Jets, and there I was.
Wow. So what year was that?
That was 99.
99? 2009.
I'm sorry, 2000.
I was going to say 99. You're like 8 years old.
that was yeah. So in 2009.
So 2009, you got called up. It's like you got called up to the majors.
Yeah. So we opened up the facility there, and it was, back then that team was great. It was in the playoffs, and and then 2 years later we were in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, how cool was that?
That was pretty awesome.
Did you get a ring?
I did get a ring.
How about that? We're gonna have to take a picture of the ring just to show everybody what it looked like.
Yeah, I'll grab it. But I got to go in the parade, the Canyon of Heroes. That was something that's going to stick with me forever.
Yeah.
No, we were on top of this double-decker bus, and people were looking at me and saying, "Who are you?" But still,
it doesn't matter. I'm part of the Giants. That's it. You're a member of the team.
Yeah, it was.
Hey, if it wasn't for you, they'd be malnourished. They wouldn't eat. They'd not be able to perform.
That's right. That's right.
So you started 2009. Tell me now. Obviously, we're on the second half of the baseball season, and as a Yankee fan, if you're a Met fan, it's kind of tragic right now. However, it's a great time to talk football, right? Because you're about ready to start training.
We are gearing up for training camp.
When does training camp start?
July 24th.
July 20th. So it's right around the corner.
Yeah.
And what happens at training camp? So I know for myself, and I'm sure you guys listening, when you think of training camp, you don't think of this is the time to get the chef in here and start cooking. But it happens.
Yeah. We get once training camp, well, every day pretty much. We're in there at 5 a.m. Breakfast starts, coaches and some of the players will start coming in at 6. So
how many on your staff?
I currently have 12.
12. So 12. So all of you are prepping. Like, what does a typical morning breakfast look like?
There's a big breakfast line. There's one guy doing omelets to order, somebody helping him. There's usually a pancake or a French toast, scrambled eggs, eggs to order, sandwiches, bacon, sausage, turkey bacon.
This is nice breakfast.
Yeah, it's a nice spread that
And how many people? I mean, you get the team. Do you do it for the team, or is it?
Breakfast is for coaches and players, and the sports staff, the trainers, and the groundskeeper, and the people taking care of the video guys. So breakfast is probably for during training camp. Our rosters are expanded, so there's 90 players and coaches. There's about 26 to 30 of those. probably around 150 for breakfast.
150.
Yeah.
And players can eat.
Yeah, they can.
They can eat.
Oh yeah.
How many eggs do you go through in the morning?
We'll go
If you had to
through
guess.
probably at least, let's see, it's 15 dozen in a case. We'll probably go through at least 12 dozen. 12
dozen.
Yeah. We used to have one player that I know, this is in the past, used to get I believe it was a 10-egg omelet in the morning.
10-egg omelet?
Yeah.
It had to be a lineman.
It was a defensive lineman.
It had to be.
And it took up half the griddle.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Great guy. But yeah, that was probably the biggest.
Wow. So, I mean, were you dealing with Strahan at the time?
No, I missed Strahan.
So just post Strahan.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but it was Tuck. It was, Eli was there, of course. OC's last season was when I started. That entire team, that was special. And when you see them, as you see them going through the playoffs, I mean, you're a Giant fan. Oh yeah, it was
I asked, by the way, just so you know, I asked him ahead of time if he was a Giant. If he wasn't a Giant fan, we weren't going to do this. So it's good that you're a Giant. So as a Giant fan, here you are, you're cooking for your team, and you're watching them go through the playoffs and then get to the Super Bowl. Yeah. It had to be. Now, when did you travel with the team?
I only travel like if they go overseas. So this past season when we were in London, I went along with them.
Really?
London, yeah.
How cool was that?
It was neat. It's just kind of, I didn't really cook. I just kind of was a conduit between the team and the chef at the hotel.
All right. You're telling the guy, listen, this guy wants a 10-egg omelet, so get your eggs ready.
Right. I mean, it's just making sure that everything's going smoothly, and then if there's any schedule changes, just to communicate with them. But yeah, normally travel, the hotels know what they're doing. So, and there's a nutritionist, team dietitian on staff, and he normally takes care of the road menus and stuff.
But so you don't have to travel on the road domestically?
No.
In the States, okay.
Yeah.
Did you have to go in the Super Bowl?
I didn't go to the Super Bowl. It was my, we had just started, so I didn't go to the Super Bowl.
Well, hopefully you go this year.
Yeah.
I mean, the team this year, we're all excited. I mean, last year was a great year. Mm-hmm. New coaching staff, and it's going to be exciting.
It's a great group. The coaching staff is awesome. All the coaches have always been great to us. From Coughlin to Dable, everybody's. Yeah. They're just a group of good guys. And they're there so much. The coaches are there early in the morning, and they're there after us till. You
get a chance to interact with them at all?
We do. Yeah, we're one-on-one, face-to-face with them. So
nice.
I always tell my staff, this is lunchtime. The mealtime is their break away from football. So don't talk about football. Just feed
them.
Yeah, feed them.
So you do breakfast and lunch, no dinner.
We'll do during training camp. We'll do breakfast, lunch, dinner, and a snack.
Oh wow, you do dinner as well.
Yeah. And
does the team eat?
Team eats
during lunch.
Yeah.
Like where really?
Yep. They all come through. Plus, we're feeding the office staff. So there's a.
I can't. If I have something to eat and then I go run or I do something at the gym, I can't. I get crippled.
Right. Well, they're burning off so much. They have to keep up their calories and stuff like that.
Do you have special requests? You have players that are like, hey, can you happen to make me some like a 10-egg omelet?
Nothing crazy. We have so much variety that they can, pick and choose. We're doing hot food. We have a salad bar. There's a sandwiches made to order at deli stations. 2 soups made fresh daily. So we're normally serving 3 proteins a day. Usually a fish, a chicken dish, and some kind of meat dish. There's also, 2 vegetables daily, 2 starches daily. So there's a lot for them.
So you got the whole dietary pyramid chart.
Yeah. There's plenty for them to choose from. And we're very aware of who's got allergies and making sure that those guys are taken care of, who's got any food restrictions.
Do you have some players that are like that? You don't have to name them, but you have players that
I mean, everybody's there's a few that have some food allergies, so we'll have a little list of, players that are allergic that way. Prior to service, we'll go through and make sure, if there's any hidden allergies, make sure that,
foods are separated.
This player doesn't get that. Yeah.
No vegans.
No vegans.
Yeah. I mean, I can't imagine being a 350-pound lineman and being a vegan.
Right. Well, there have been in the past.
Have you really?
Yeah.
You've had some vegans?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
All right. So shout out to you vegans out there.
All right. But for the most part, they eat a lot.
Are you amazed sometimes at how much food is consumed? Early on, when you first started.
Yeah.
Wow, these guys
I mean, going from the Archdiocese.
The Archdiocese of Newark to the New York Giants.
Yeah, from feeding priests and nuns to, a 300+ pound lineman. It's a little different.
It's a little different. Yeah.
But yeah, they can eat, and they really appreciate it. That's the best part.
Yeah.
They're, for most part, most of the team is young kids right out of college. So
it's hard to believe. We watch the games, and it's hard. Even baseball, any sports events, you watch the game, and it's hard to believe that they're kids.
Yeah.
They could be my kids. They could, almost my grandkids.
Yeah.
Early 20s, mid 20s, and you forget that. You kind of lose that.
Right. For a lot of these guys, it's their first time away from home. Besides college. At college, they were taken care of, but now, they're in a foreign city. Some of these guys have never been to a New York area. So
they're staying in some hotel with their roommates, and
it's completely new. So we try to feed them, and make sure their bellies are happy.
Hey, if the bellies are happy, they're happy.
Exactly. We'll also take requests, as far as where you're from, what do you what do you eat at home? Is there anything we can do?
Nice.
So just
make it feel a little bit like home.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
I remember Brandon Jacobs used to love the gumbo, and
is that right?
Oh yeah.
Did you guys make gumbo for him?
Sure. It was jambalaya and
that's awesome.
So
you'll ask him. That's cool. Make him feel comfortable. Make him feel like you're away from home, but we want to bring you a little bit of home comfort here.
Exactly.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, it's because it's just hard to remember that they're kids. They're kids. They're in their 20s.
Yeah.
Even the veterans, a veteran is 30.
Exactly.
And they're on their way out, and they're 30 years old.
Yeah.
What's your biggest challenge as the executive chef of the New York Giants?
Just through the pandemic, getting food in was
that tough?
There was some
everybody was having supply issues.
Yeah, the supply issues, but now it's pretty solid. I have a great staff that just.
Do you have some guy that orders the 12 dozen eggs every
right. You're right. I mean, I got a great staff, so I think I've been doing this for so long. It's
14. This is going to be your 14th year.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep.
Well, hopefully this will be the year you get your second ring.
Yeah, I hope so.
So listen, go check it out. Check out some of the stuff that he's done. It's NY Giants Bites, BITES, on Instagram. And check out some of the stuff that the New York Giants eat. It's cool that you post that stuff.
Yeah. It's we do a wide variety of foods, from Asian to, of course, Italian to barbecue to.
You mix it up.
We do mix it up because they're there every day. We want to give them variety. We don't want them to get bored.
Yeah.
So we'll switch it up.
Hey, breakfast is tough because breakfast is breakfast. It's
right.
Eggs, it's sausage,
a lot of breakfast is so guys have that routine. So normally guys get the same thing every day.
Yeah.
So breakfast, that's a real intimate part of the day, I say, because you got your breakfast, you know how you want it. That's how you expect it every day. I'm
still trying to wrap my arms around a 10-egg omelet. It's like you get a carton of eggs, you take 2 out, and you cook the rest of them.
Right.
I would have a heart attack. That's like a cholesterol nightmare.
Right.
Yeah. Whatever they want.
Yeah. It's
Well, and so when dinner comes, because dinner's obviously the end of training, right? Especially in training camp. The end of training, dinner comes around. So you're serving fish, chicken, all the different proteins. Are they obviously they're consuming a ton because they just burnt off about 10,000 calories.
Yeah.
So they're coming in hungry.
They're coming in hungry. It depends on the intensity of the practice, actually.
As it gets closer to the season?
Well, I mean, during the season, normally their more intense practices are Wednesday, Thursday. So those are the days we tend to go heavier with food. Monday is normally a recovery day, so we'll go a little lighter.
So that's a good point. Once the season starts, you're cooking every day
Monday through Saturday for the most part,
and then Sunday's a game.
Sunday's a game.
Home games, are you cooking for them?
Home games, they're staying at a hotel, and the pregame is at a hotel, so they have their meetings at the hotel and stuff. Away games, obviously, they leave on Saturday, whether it's a West Coast game or down the turnpike.
Yeah.
They're there for breakfast.
So every other day, this is like you're working.
Yeah. And during training camp, it's a 7-day week thing.
That's why your wife said, once it starts, I don't see him anymore.
That's right.
Yeah. That's pretty intense.
Yeah.
It's what I love about this is that I love talking to guys like you because people, you're one of the unsung heroes. No one thinks about who's feeding these guys. You know what I mean?
Right.
And that's why I'm really appreciative that we were able to have some time to chat, and especially preseason, like before the season starts.
Right.
So it starts on 24th?
Starts on the 24th, right at the facility, and it'll go through the month of August, and once the season starts, we get into a more regular routine.
Right.
And then we just hope we win on Sundays.
Are you able to watch the games on Sundays?
I am, yeah.
So you come in your man cave and you set it all up and you watch the game?
I do, yeah.
It's got to be a little bit of pride, I fed those guys. Those guys, I fed them.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
See how bulky he is? That's me.
That's right. Yeah, we definitely take pride, and we the guy that makes the tackle on the kickoff that probably 90% of people don't know. We root for that guy because he's probably the guy that's one.
And you must have little stories about each one because you're interacting with them on a daily basis.
I mean, it's fun when they're into the food.
Yeah.
And a lot of guys are into cooking, so they'll ask us questions.
Oh, they are?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
So, it's neat. It's neat to get.
So they'll ask you hey, what did you put in this? The flavor's really good. What?
Some of them do. Yeah.
They do.
A lot of them ask for recipes,
cool.
and a lot of them like to dabble.
And so where do you come up with your recipes? You just sit down and let's do something a little different. Let's mix it up a little bit.
I'll ask my staff's opinion. We have within the company, we also have a database of recipes that are geared towards athletes and
high calorie, high
protein stuff. Yeah. But for the most part, it's during the season we'll do something. Say we're playing New Orleans, or say we're playing Minnesota on a Wednesday, we'll do something that we call Devour the Competition.
So, really?
Yeah, so we'll kind of pick a menu geared towards that city.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so I call it a little subliminal food motivation.
Yeah.
And we'll pick some recipes from that city just to
give me an example. I would imagine that if you're playing Dallas, it's got to be steak. It's got to be beef.
Yeah, barbecue, steak, stuff like that. Yeah. Or you could go the taco route, the Mexican Tex-Mex.
Okay.
Philly, we'll do cheesesteaks and stuff like that.
That's an easy one.
Yeah.
All right. What about San Francisco?
Cioppino and a lot of Asian dishes that way.
Who else? Seattle. So Seattle was a good one. This year I found this burger out there that's called the Whammy Burger. So Whammy.
It's 2 real thin patties. They're 2 ounces each. So patty, American cheese, Vidalia onion, and pickle. Simplest thing, and they loved it. I I wound up doing that over and over.
Really?
Yeah.
The whammy burger.
The whammy burger.
All right, let me think of some other teams now. This is fun. I'm trying to think. Tampa Bay. You guys don't play them.
We didn't play Tampa, so I haven't done a Tampa menu yet. But I think it would
Patriots.
probably be seafood.
Yeah, Patriots once or
Chowder.
twice. Chowder. There
Yeah.
you go.
we'll do like
Chowder.
a little chowder bar. Minnesota. There's a
Chicago.
the Chicago hot dog.
Nice.
So we
All
got
right, the pickle.
the relish, the bright
absolutely.
green relish.
Yeah,
and
that's
Chicago
cool.
pizza and stuff like that.
All right,
And
that's cool. So you
Italian beef sandwich. If the fans of the bear out there.
Yeah, the Bear. Yeah, we just went through the whole season. You watch that show?
I started season. I started season 1. I haven't gotten through it yet.
All right. Well, I won't spoil it then, but I can tell you that my brother, having been a chef and just kind of burn anybody that's a chef, you just you burn out. It's so high intensity, and he kind of has PTSD watching that show because it's so real.
Yeah.
And it's very realistic. So that's pretty awesome that you cook. I have a friend of mine that does that. Like any when he'll have barbecues or he'll have whatever team they're playing once a year, they'll have a big event and gear it towards that team. Yeah, they'll tailgate out Giant Stadium.
Nice.
Yeah. Angelo Basilone.
Basilone.
You pronounce it Basilone.
Yeah.
I pronounce it Basilone. Where's your family from? Part of Italy?
Benevento. So it's San Bartolomeo is the small
Have
town.
you ever been?
I've been, yeah.
Get a little recipes. You bring a little bit back for the
some
team.
of the stuff that they love is stuff that I learned from mom.
Nice.
Of course.
That's the best.
Yeah.
Did you ever make them testa di turco? Do you know what that is?
I don't.
Oh, well, I have to tell you about that off screen. Make sure you go NY Giants Bites on Instagram and check out what he's going to be cooking. He loads it up. He puts images of what they make for the team, and it's kind of cool to know what your favorite team is eating.
Yeah.
Because if they're faltering on the field, there's only one guy to blame. You can't blame the coaching staff. It's got to be the guy who's feeding them, right?
Well,
Angelo, thank you so
Pleasure.
much.
Thank
Hey,
you.
have a great season.
Thank you.
Hopefully you'll have another ring. And
So-
we got to make sure to take a picture of that ring so I can show everybody.
all right.
All right. Listen, make sure you follow him on Instagram. And if you're not a Giants fan, you should be. All right? And go Giants. All right. Be well, everybody.